Hey, what's going down, man? It's your boy Dijon. We live in the serve room. I got a special guest, man, Pusha Preme,
What up,
straight
y'all?
out of Tampa by way of New York.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Your favorite mask assassin, Pusha Preme, aka Billboard P. Yo, thank you for having me, man. What's going on? How your day going today?
Man, I can't complain. You know, we one day after a hurricane, so
The hurricane is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
I've heard the stories, man.
But we still here, so we
Hell
good
yeah.
today. Ain't all that. Ain't too much flooding and stuff going on outside, so we can still be in the serve room today. You know, let's talk about a little bit about what you do. You know what I'm saying? Who you are,
Okay.
and get to know you a little bit. So, you know, first let's start with coming from town. Well, let's start with what brings you to Houston right now.
So right now, shouts to my man CJ. He got me here in Houston. We're just doing a radio run. I recently just had one of my records kind of spin on 94.1. That's like our station back in Tampa. And then I'm just coming off landing number 18 on Billboard on various artists for a compilation album that was on. So I think that's probably been, you know, moving the way it should be. So I think this is just God's way of just like, you know, creating that path. Like, yo, this is where you need to be right now. So I love Houston since I've been here. You know, like the architecture here is dope. The art is dope. It has everything that's like tugging on my soul. I feel like I should have been here like 10 years ago.
Right. You know, during your short time in Houston so far, what would you say the biggest difference is between, you know, like with the music scene between Tampa and Houston?
Well, it's hard to tell because the only thing I would say is that when it comes to like weather and things like that, like in Tampa, since it's like that's Florida, they keep it going. So, you know, if there's a storm or anything like that, or if there's an earthquake, fire, they keep it going because like they're really committed to making sure that they at least get the show done. Now, for Houston, I'm still new to it, so I'm gonna have to answer that question next time I get on here.
Yeah. Oh, you can't. You know, we had a slight hurricane come, so pretty much right now everything's shut down. Like, you know, as of last night, a lot of stuff shut down, and they didn't open back up today. So tomorrow would be a great day to kind of explore. The sun might be out a little bit.
Yeah, I got one more day, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna happen.
Already. So, let's talk about New York a little bit.
Okay.
You know, I know you probably been seeing New York is back booming. You know, it was a point in time where they ran hip hop and things kind of slowed down when the South started jumping and the West Coast started jumping. But now, you know, New York got their foot back in the door. So, you know, looking back at that, and seeing that's where you come from, what you think about New York music right now?
I think right now, just music in general, not just New York, but I think everyone's finding their fan base and they're connecting to it, and then the world is getting a chance to see it. So
Right.
instead of it being compared or people kind of like just doing too much, you know what I'm saying? It's been all about the music now and the culture. So now everyone's learning about everybody. So they're like, okay, drill music, I like the way they do it in New York, or soul down music, I like the way they do it in the South, or kind of like bop music, I like the way they do it in the West. So it's like a beautiful time right now to be alive, to be able to, you know, bask in all this.
Yeah, man, that's a fact. Let's talk about the mask. I know you say the mask assassin, you know what I'm saying? That's a very different mask. A lot of zippers and stuff, you know. You definitely not catching COVID with that one on. But what gave you the like what made you start doing the mask? Was it with the COVID? You know, you kind of like took it like as a
No.
fashion idea?
Nah, not even close, man. To be honest with you, this has been like, it's crazy to see how COVID, you know, turned into that. But this is like almost like 10 years going. I'm just a very creative person. I used to be in a group, and when I left the group and I came to Tampa, you know, I was watching an interview with MF Doom, and he was kind of explaining how this MF Doom character that was created from his split from the group carried on, that things should be more about the music and not the ego. So I was like, that's how I feel, you know. I wanted to be able to separate the music from the ego and the person, so I'd be able to kind of coexist in both worlds. So, you know, every mask that I make pertains to whatever project that I'm working on. So the last project that I made, Before I Say I Do, is like a project that talks about the things that an artist goes through before they get married. So, you know, that's kind of like, you know, for that particular time. And then now that, you know, I'm coming to Houston, I'm traveling more, I got all these things going on with the shows and stuff like that. I'm working on another mask right now to pertain to that particular story.
Already. What made you want to make an album about things that artists go through before getting married? Like, what was the idea behind that?
Honestly, it's like I have a really strong female fan base, and I wanted to kind of just talk to them more. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just let them know what we go through. Because sometimes they think, you know, we're like basketball players, like we do this just for the bread and all this other stuff. But like we're real people too that deal with real emotions. And, you know, for other artists out there that kind of don't have somebody to kind of, you know, give them that knowledge and gems. I feel like artists like myself are trying to do that and make that okay. You know what I'm saying? I just, we were just talking about Drake when Drake was rolling through Houston and where our hotel's at. I'm seeing all the landmarks. So I'm like, yo, this is like real life. You know what I'm saying? And that's who I want to be at the end of the day. I just want to be somebody that didn't fucking get scared to do the things that he said he was going to do. He always stayed artistically, above and beyond to the best of my ability, and didn't fucking sell out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I had to create the mask. Well, he doesn't like when you call it a mask. It's kind of like an alter ego, so to speak. But the premises of it is to not be afraid. You know what I'm saying? There's so many talented, dope people. Even this platform that you have right now, at one point in time, we have those doubts in our minds that tell us, maybe I should do something else and play it safe.
Right.
Nah, man, I'm here to chase the ultimate freedom and creativity.
Man, that's what's up. You also say you hit number 18 on the Billboard.
Yes.
How does that feel? So many artists, that's their dream to make it on the Billboard charts, but you actually did that.
At first, because I worked so hard, I didn't get the chance to enjoy it. Then when I had my event, we had a sold-out event at Hooch and Hive. You probably don't know what Hooch and Hive is, but I'll send you footage so you can kind of see the establishment. It's really known for like a lot of live bands.
Okay.
I'm part of a band called The One.
Is that out in Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we all wear masks as assassins. It's kind of like our thing. So accomplishing that was like equivalent to me getting like my master's, because I really only was appreciative to it till my mom came to the crib and she sees the plaque and she's just like, okay, I believe you now. You know what I'm saying? I never got that reassurance from my parents to continue doing music. It was always school, be a doctor, be a lawyer, because I'm African. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they really pushing, be a doctor.
Really, yeah. But the only thing they never shitted on was the mask, because in our family, that's how we do performances. So it kind of went full circle, coming from Sierra Leone, from West Africa.
Nowadays, walking around with a mask on is perfectly normal. Matter of fact, people expect you to have a mask on. But when you first started doing it, like, what kind of perception were you getting from people?
I was getting wild hate, man. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. And it made me know that this is what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, not even put that in the comparison, but somebody brought it to me, so I was like, I'm going to use this example. It's kind of like when Jesus was walking around. He's just like, yo, like, do this and do that, and do this and do that. And they're just like, who's this person walking around like this, talking like that? It wasn't easy, I'm going to tell you, but it also let me know that when you're different and you have a different mindset, you have to protect that. You can't let people that don't understand you break you down. So it was tough, and I stuck through with it. The people that fuck with it, they stuck with me through, and then it shows in the success that it's like, it was never the mask to begin with. It was just the fact that I never stopped going. It was the creativity. This is just the way I express myself.
Right. When did you first even start taking interest in music, and what made you really decide to take it seriously?
I would say in high school. In high school, I was super shy, and my way of bagging shorties or whatever, I used to write love notes, you know what I'm saying? And
okay,
like
the real player way.
Yeah, just like, here you go, hold that. Oh, and I'd be like, all right, and then I could talk because I felt comfortable. And then what happened is, niggas got word of it in Tampa when I had moved there for high school, and it was just like, oh, I battle rap. And then they was like coming at me, and they battles talking about me. And I'm just like, I don't even rap like that, I do that. So then I just started studying like Eminem, Big L. I was already a Jay-Z fan, early Nas. I started studying them and then understanding the premises of like why this particular way of rapping was important. So once I started studying that, I just became addicted to it. And then music came more so after high school, like when I was in the military and shit, because that's, when we were marching shit like that, we didn't have no iPad, nothing like that. No, you couldn't wear that shit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not a type of person to kind of just like be in a silent place and be okay with it. Like, I need noise to understand I'm existing. So I had to think of mad songs in my head, and I appreciated music so much more. So my older music, new music, rock, country, anything that has like a metronome that draws emotion, I fuck with heavy.
Is there anything that you're working on right now, or any projects that you recently released or are about to release?
Yes. So right now I'm working on the project I'm making for the newest match with the Red Skull. So I only really brought him out during performances. Shout outs to Katrina Wilson. She helped me in developing the mask. It has like a whole bunch of chains on it. It's really dope. And I'm just trying to like, all right, so everything that's going on now, so, just be on some real like life music. So talk about my trip to Houston, talk about how I'm about to open for Nas in October, talk about the fashion shows that I'm doing. So I want to talk about all that from the art's perspective,
right?
Post what I'm going on, and I'm about to have a baby too, so it's about to be like,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go back a little bit. I can't let that bypass. You say you about to open up for Nas.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It's crazy, right? So the individuals who run the Gasparilla Music Festival, that's like a big festival in Tampa. They, I told them like, yo, I want to book this venue. They're like, okay, book the venue. I was like, yo, but hope you ready because like I'm gonna sell this out.
Right.
Because I already had like 100 pre-sales already from when I had mentioned it. And it was like the way I do my shows so it's like you're going to like a real event, you know what I'm saying? Open bar, merch items, giveaways, lights, photo booth walls. Like I make it like you're walking into like an establishment like this. I take like real big pride into it. And they were shocked because no one had ever done that post-COVID. Because everyone's just like it's COVID, so it's that you can only do what you can do. Then the radio started getting behind it, and then from there, they was just like, yo, they got the experience. That's what we do with our shows. I got background singers, I got a dancer, stuff like that. So once they imbibed that experience, they was like, we need you because, your sound is kind of, it resembles the Roots.
Right.
So we feel like this is going to be best for that. And then, it just kind of puts it together. So, God's plan.
Man, that's pretty live right there. You seem like you really have received a lot of accomplishments in the music already, from hitting Billboard to doing your own events to doing a show with Nas, when you first started, did you ever think that it would ever go this far?
No. And I got a song that talks about it too. It's called Never Thought. So I've never thought it would get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Everything has just been it's been happening so fast, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy because, there's so many people out there who I see, who I feel like is way better than me, and they quit. And it's just like, I just kept going, and then all these things happen, So it's a testimony to God, man, where we're supposed to be.
Right. Another thing, we were talking about something before the interview started. We were talking about your merch.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What's the name of your line?
So right now it's Made in T. Basically, it's Tampa T, so I make a lot of Tampa merch. We have other merch as well too for Pusha Preme and the Wandering Assassins, but it's like my goal is that I wanted my city to be proud of who they are. So the design of it is just basically it's like a multicolored design to kind of show that Tampa's a melting pot. So we have people from New York, we have even people from Austin. We have people from Alabama, Detroit, Chicago, LA, Hawaii. There's so many different walks of life in Tampa. It's not like your average city. So I wanted to make a design that represented everybody. So that has been doing, it's been doing well for us. It supports the music a lot. So shout out to everybody that be purchasing the merch, for real.
Already, man. Merch is very important these days because when the music not selling, the merchandise you can go anywhere and sell merch.
Facts. That part.
With the merch and the music and even doing events and stuff, It seems like you have a great following. You know how to market yourself. You know how to put yourself out there, and really receive the benefits of what comes with really pushing the music. What are some tips that you can give other artists to really get yourself out there, to get heard, to be able to perform at these type of events? What does an artist need to do?
I honestly think that you just have to devise a plan. Really make a plan. I know it sounds real generic and shit like that, but it's like the way, the same system that it takes for you to get something in the mail. Like someone takes it, they put an envelope, they stamp it, they give this person, that person gives this person, they mail it to you. It's the same way that you have to manifest what you want to do. So if you want to, perform at Rolling Loud, make sure you take the necessary steps that it takes to get there, but write it out and then realistically accomplish it. And
like a checklist.
Yeah, it works. I swear to God, it works. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for that. CJ told me what I had to do. I focused on that, and then boom, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big believer in that. Write it down, and then you can bring it to life.
How important is it for you to travel? Because I know you mentioned Austin. You in Houston right now, and you coming all the way from Florida.
Yeah.
So how important is that to reach these other cities, to talk to people in other cities? Because so many artists, they want to be the hometown hero. They want to blow up in their city, put on for their city, but they don't really too much look outside of that.
It's highly important. You have to travel. You have to. That's the only reason why. We know about the people that we know because we're hearing their stories, and their stories come from them moving around. Now, we're not saying abandon ship, but you got to be able to explore other cultures. America's big as shit, big as fuck. You know what I'm saying? There's some places that you could fly to, and it's going to take you 5 hours to get there in a plane. So, any artist that's watching right now, travel. Especially now that it's cheap, travel. I'm telling you, there's so many dope fucking platforms like your platform that's here, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna just keep the community going.
Back in Tampa, is it hard to get on as an artist because we don't hear too many mainstream artists repping Tampa right now? But me personally, I interview a lot of Tampa artists through CJ, and I know y'all music scene booming out there. But is it hard to get recognition as an artist out there?
Not really. So it's like there's a big misconception that it's a crab in a bucket kind of town, but I don't think that is what it is. I think that people want to gain respect because they're doing music, but they don't understand that we're serving. You know what I'm saying? It's like entertainment. Like I'm here to provide you with a story. But the thing is, my story and my music and my vision, all these things that's me. What they do for you is the most important thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How are you receptive to it? Is this helping you when you drive in the morning? Is this helping you when you're at work? You know what I mean? So it's not like that. The thing about Tampa is if you have your base will grow with you, to spend money with you, to come to your shows. And I'm living proof because I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? For those that's watching, I don't look like your average artist. I know, you know what I'm saying, niggas is going to be like, I don't get it or whatever. But no, get it. It comes down to just building with your fan base, and the people is going to dictate your future. And I'm really big on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really big on just touching who I need to touch. Pause.
One thing I gotta ask you, because your style is different. Even the way you talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you really. You know what I'm saying? You really know what you're doing out here. You really have a plan and you really focus. So I just got to ask, like, what are some of your inspirations, people that you grew up listening to, people that inspire you today?
I say today, Roddy Ricch, definitely Travis Scott. As you can tell from the merch, like, I'm a big Travis Scott fan. I love everything that he's doing, especially the crossover marketing is, like, really dope to be able to have somebody, like, work on something like McDonald's.
I'm not going to lie. Like, when Travis Scott first blew up, he didn't really blow up out of Houston. He signed, I think he started off with Kanye West in New York and then got a deal with T.I. He was on Grand Hustle.
T.I. first, and then it's so hard to know.
Yeah, I know he was with both of them. Mm-hmm. Then once he got his foot in the door and because I know he was producing and kind of ghostwriting, he got his foot in the door and he kind of, he started doing his artist thing. Then he put on for Houston, in Houston. And
that's what I'm trying to do for Tampa. That's exactly what I'm trying to do for Tampa, because I think that shit is way more enjoyable. And look how big everybody, look how motivated and how connected everybody is because of the whole Astro World movement. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the whole point of it, just like to make people that think like you, look like you, feel like you, put them all in the same place. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's too with Astroworld. He had a lot of big people on there, which opened people's eyes to what goes down here. And that's one thing about being from one city and working with artists in another city. You putting them on your culture, and like you say, you giving them new experiences, something new to talk about. Now they go in their music and they saying, oh yeah, this what happened in Houston. So you go back home, it influence other people. Like, man, I might need to get out there and see what's going down.
And now we're building like an economic currency through entertainment, because now it's like when people want to do tours, they're not going to skip. They're going to come to Houston, they're going to go to Tampa, they're going to go to Miami, they're going to go to Austin. So the more that we keep that going, then it's like people don't have to kind of go through the same bullshit that I had to go through growing up, to where it's like, go to school and get a computer. It's like, no, I'm going to be in arts, nigga. And I'm going to do this because this market's making this, that. You know what I'm saying? Like, start a career for it. Then we get the best people in the world. The same people that Apple's picking up to work for Apple, work for Nike. We get to have those people in our network for hip-hop. And that's going to make hip-hop OD.
Yeah, and that's pretty live, because now we starting to see a whole new game. It's not just for this type of person or this type of person. It's for everybody now. And it's like creativity is major now. It ain't, you don't have to rap about just selling drugs or killing people. You can rap about anything. Like Travis Scott, I don't know. I really don't know exactly what he raps about, but it is live, it's good music.
So you want to know Travis Scott? I say, listen to Rodeo. He gives you his whole life story. Rodeo's like, if I was going to tell anybody to, be introduced to Travis, I would just say Rodeo. So he's somebody who's an influence to me. Also Jay-Z, like, You know,
Yeah,
that's
growing
like,
up, Jay-Z was my favorite rapper until Lil Wayne went on his run. And I was like, all right, Wayne
Okay.
giving him a run for the money now.
Lil Wayne is like, his charisma for rap is so fire, but that's the rap portion of Lil Wayne. The thing about Hov that gets kind of mislead is that he's like one of the greatest things that what Wayne does, and then storytelling. See, Wayne, he won't tell you the story like how Hov would tell you the story, how he's going through the situation with Beyonce.
Right.
So the thing is, like, when we get to that point to where it's like, you know what I'm saying, we're multimillionaires and we got our family going, and then you may or may not slide off, and the meat is in your face, that's going to be a whole different conversation. And who's going to give us advice on that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, like that's the thing.
Yeah, that's one thing about Jay-Z. He can really put his personal life into the music constantly. Like, really, the only time we hear new music from Jay-Z right now is when something important happens in his life, and then he make a song about it. Lil Wayne is more like metaphorical. I think, like, he kind of,
he gets in his bag sometimes though. Like "Mirrors on the Wall" is like one of my favorite songs from Lil Wayne.
And that's why I appreciate an artist like Drake too, because he's like, you can tell he learned from Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. He got that mix. He go personal, but he got that metaphor. He got the package,
And he got the audience, so it's just like he don't got to split up nothing.
Did you have a chance to check out the Kanye West album and the Drake album?
Yeah.
What do you think of the way they rolled that out? Like, I don't think it's ever been that much hype around any music ever in like the history of music.
And they're the definition of where music's able to stop the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The world.
Like,
stopped.
that was the conversation literally for a whole, like, 2-3 weeks. Like, when is the album coming out? When is the album coming out?
Mind you, but everything going on, storms, the vaccines,
Afghanistan.
They're like, yo, but which one's
The
better?
world was on pause.
Son, and that's where it gotta be.
But those two marketing genius. Kanye West is a marketing genius.
Yes, he is. He's one of my favorite too. He's one of my favorites too. I love, and it's more so from a production standpoint. I love the way that he puts the production together with his albums. I just wish that him and Drake were kind of, like, I don't know how, if it's like real beef, I don't know what's going on, but if they could make an album together, that would be like the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
I think the time for that passed. I think whatever because they two of the top rappers in the game. Both of them very rich. Kanye West a billionaire. These two people can literally have anything they want in this world, and they beefing. I think it's something very personal that we'll never know the truth behind. I don't think either one of them will speak on it, but it's just crazy though. Like, it came out of nowhere, and it just,
Because when they do work, it sounds amazing. Like, Kanye was just on Drake's last album.
yeah. I literally feel like Kanye West, like, the majority of his album, he was talking about Drake, and I feel like Drake, the majority of his album, he was talking about Kanye.
But it's good though, because I like when they both attack him, but I also like when they're making music at the same time too, like uplifting music. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's one thing that's different about Kanye West's album. That's something that we never heard. We never heard nothing like that before.
Facts. That's a fact.
I don't know what genre to put. I don't know if it's gospel, if it's hip hop. I don't even know where to put that
Yo,
at.
and the thing is, like, people are like running it. There's people that I know that are atheists and they're just running it. They don't even care. You know what I mean?
It's good. Hey, good music will change your life.
Facts. I just can't wait until, like, we're old and then, like, the new people are sampling, like, Kanye West and Drake from, like, this album. Like, that's, like, you hear the samples like, oh, I remember when it was beefing, and then it just reads parts of the story over again.
Yeah, God. I mean, I feel like, this year especially, we didn't got a lot of classics that's, music that's, like, 10 years from now going to be classics. Like how we looked at Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt back in the day. Like, I feel like a lot of the music coming out right now, it's that type of music. It's just in a new sound. I definitely want to give you a chance to, like, shout out your Instagram, let people know where to find you, how they can find the music.
allaboutpreme.com, or on Google, Pusha Preme, Pushapreme, Pusha Preme on everything, you know what I mean? Facebook.
I like that you got a website too.
Yeah, it's just easier, you know what I mean? I get it. Like, I don't like typing too. I don't like that shit. I'm like one of those swipe type dudes, or I just be K.
Right.
Where I. Well, I think it's a voice note, so I get it. I'm lazy too. So yeah, all about me. It gives you everything. It shows you my accomplishments. It shows you, what I'm working on, behind the scenes footage. Merch is on there as well too. But on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything. Pusha Preme, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. If you don't want to pay for it, you want to kind of test me out before you put me on your, do that, please. We appreciate it. It's something that, we just want to give people an experience. It's a little different. So the same excitement that you get from, like, the majors, since we're independent, we're just trying to do the same too.
Okay. Where can they find the music at?
Oh, same thing, allaboutpreme.com or Pusha Preme on Apple, Spotify. We just dropped a couple singles right now. We did a Polo G challenge video for the song Trapped In. So we've been, we just been working. We're on a couple of Vivo playlists. So, just tap in, just give us a chance to wow you. That's all we ask.
Already. Man, I definitely appreciate you for coming through to the syrup room today. Man, I hate you had to come to Houston in the midst of a hurricane, but I hope you do get to enjoy the rest of your time out here.
I'll be back.
It's a lot to see out here. It's a lot to see, a lot to do.
Okay, I'm with it.
So, man, I look forward to checking out the music. I really feel like you got some dope videos out there. I'm looking forward to seeing some of them videos, man.
Shout out to Jock Sick of These Games. Like, the way that we, put that together. I was working with the Snap House and the E-Board, their selfie room. So it was something I always wanted to do was, build a selfie room. But at the time with COVID, my second business venture wasn't able to get the loan for it. So we kind of had to sit back and watch for it to happen. And then, I told her my vision, told her what we was going to do, and they gave us the whole facility for the whole night. We worked on it. We made something beautiful. You know what I mean?
Already. Man, like I said, I appreciate you for coming through to the syrup room today.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
Shout out to you. Man, congratulations. Got a baby on the way. About to open up for Nas in a couple weeks.
It's going to be a crazy fall, man.
On the Billboard, he got accolades out here. So you definitely want to check him out, man. Real dope artist from Tampa, Florida, man.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Houston, man. Houston love, man.
Already, man. It's the syrup room. We out.
We out, y'all.